going on. We have a special guest today. We all know that the government, local government, federal government, they will, overstep their boundaries and just intrude on your life, even if you're not posing a safety issue in your community. This is just what we're going to discuss today, and we're live right now with Katherine Henry. She's below me. I don't know how this video yeah, we've been having some technical issues, guys, but we're still here right now. So please bear with us. But Catherine is on a time crunch over here, and she has until next week until the city just intrudes on her personal property. And I'm going to have her discuss it for you guys because who better yet to tell their own story than, them themselves. So go ahead and take it over from here, Catherine.
Well, hello, everybody. Thanks for joining today. We've been working at this for like an hour. It's YouTube technology at its finest, I guess. So hopefully we're all, oriented directly up and everything's working right. But it looks really strange on my end, and I think on hers as well. So, um, also, I will say, please forgive me because when I do videos, I normally try to have my hair down so I don't look so uptight as Mr. Liberty Cause has told me. And I normally have, I don't know, mascara, so my blonde eyelashes don't make me look sick. But I'm not ill. I'm just fair-skinned and light-haired. So anyway, I we just wanted to get you guys first of all some information. So if you're going through this yourself, you know that it happens to everyone, and then also encourage you to help me out and my family's situation. So I'm constitutional attorney Katherine Henry. I'm licensed to practice law in the United States Supreme Court, in some federal courts, in the state of Michigan, and a tribal court. And I live down here in Florida now. I'm not a Florida licensed attorney, but I've been forced to learn the entirety of Florida laws and court rules and cases and procedures because just like um, Amanda, I've been sucked into their games and their BS, and I'm representing myself. So, in my current situation, there's not criminal charges or anything like that. What is going on is that the city, we had a neighbor behind us, the only neighbor that's ever complained ever about any of the stuff that we're doing to our house. But we have a neighbor behind us who I'll just lovingly refer to as Karen, who decided to tell the city she didn't like that we put two small shipping containers on our property, that we improved our property by putting pavers, expanding the driveway basically on both sides of each of our two small driveways, and that we put a privacy fence up on our own property. Um, and it's a white privacy fence. So anyway, the city decided that they were going to try to make us take those out or get a permit. But really, when they said get a permit, they've told us they won't issue a permit for the pavers without having us completely tear up all the pavers, thousands of pavers, so they could see that we've done it correctly. They also said that we'd have to tear out the vast majority of our privacy fence and put it in a way that they seem as visually pleasing because they don't like the design of our fence. And our shipping containers, they have literally said that the state of Florida, the building code, doesn't regulate the use of those. So therefore, we're not allowed to use them on our own property. So we had a special magistrate hearing in February, and that was a huge debacle, and there was a lot going on with that. Took 3.5 hours, and I filed a notice of appeal. I put them on notice that I'm going to sue the crap out of all of them for violating our rights. And I also asked the special magistrate to essentially reconsider and told him how many laws he was violating and asked him for relief from his orders. And they all ignored me. They didn't even acknowledge that they got my filing. So it's like a court just not accepting a filing. They can't do that. So I waited a reasonable amount of time because that's what he has to issue his result. And then I filed with the court, the circuit court, who's like the appeals court in this case, and asked them to intervene and um, essentially stop the city from coming. So what we were ordered to do was in March, the orders came out that we were supposed to rip up our pavers, our 2 shipping containers, our entire privacy fence, all on our own land and not interfering with anybody else's property in any way. We have to rip it all up. And if we don't, they're starting to charge us daily fees. And on top of that, supposedly this coming Monday, they they think that according to these orders that they have the right to come onto our property, to trespass onto our property, and to rip up all of our pavers, shipping containers, privacy fence, and take it and destroy it. And then charge us for doing that work. And then use those charges to put a lien on not only our house, but our personal property. And not only that, they supposedly gave themselves immunity for any damages to not only the fence, the pavers, and the shipping containers that they're going to cause, but any other parts of our property, our house, our poured driveway, our ground, anything else that they damage by coming to do that, they supposedly are going to be immune from criminal and civil liability for doing this to us. I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's this thing called the US Constitution. Amanda, I know you've heard of this. I'm kind of a fan of it. What, are you a
Yeah.
fan?
I think I'm the number one fan of the US Constitution. Unfortunately, the people who took an oath to protect the Constitution, to abide by the Constitution, it just doesn't matter to them in our local courts and our local government. Um, I mean, I believe that everybody in here at one point of your life or in the past, present, future will come to terms with that we have this US Constitution. We even have protections from the Florida Constitution, but these cities and municipalities will continue to circumvent our rights, our God-given rights. And it sounds like, Catherine, this is exactly what you are going through. And I believe, Catherine, you recently started something along the lines of a GoFundMe or a Gifts and Go. I don't know how that's doing right now, but I want you to explain basically to my viewers what happened at your court proceeding, where I guess the transcripts just were not on the record or they disappeared. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the we do have a Give Send Go set up. I think it's literally givesendgo.com/save Henry home. But I think Lori might be putting it in the comments here because I see she's commenting. Oh, and okay, the Liberty Cause just put it in there as well. So in there, there's attached the 3-minute video explaining the situation and what's going on and what the fees are for. But basically, in order to fight this, I have to provide the full transcripts of what happened. So I have to hire a court reporter. Florida is so stinking stupid. I've never heard of such a thing in my life. I mean, paying for transcripts is one thing.
Mhm.
Usually it's, a couple $100 or so. No, this is going to cost me thousands of dollars to get the transcripts. I've already had to dish out hundreds of dollars for court filing fees. And it's going to continue. I'm going to have additional court filing fees, additional transcript fees for any other hearings. I mean, it's just service fees, whatever. It's already in the thousands and it's going to grow. So our Give, Send, Go, I put my best estimate of what it's going to cost, and it's going to be probably $5,800 just to fight this. And my goal is I've put them on notice that as part of my appeal to the circuit court, I'm also countersuing them for theft, for trespass, for all kinds of things. And some of you have been commenting. There's a lot of commenting going on, and I can't see it on my little tiny phone screen quick enough at times. But as far as, that it's trespassing or whatever, yes, I actually just today finished creating a page on our website, and I think Lori is going to share that if she hasn't already with you guys, so you guys can see every single court document that I have filed in this case. You can see all the equal protection violations where they let literally everybody else do the exact same kinds of things and don't go after them. In fact, they're giving a free ticket to the city attorney's own office. We have state law enforcement vehicles here. We have Ormond Beach Police Department, people that live in this neighborhood that get away with these ordinance violations. City of Ormond Beach work vans, you name it, city parks, tons of other things where they are violating the same parts of the land development code they're saying that I'm violating or that our family is violating. But they're fine. They can keep doing what they want to do. As long as you work for the government, you have a free pass. But yeah, so I laid out in there, I made official complaints to the neighborhood improvement division for the crap that the city attorney's office is, the ways that they're violating the land development code. I made an official complaint last week for the pods container that has sat in violation of the city's personal storage code. It's only supposed to be 30 days is what they're saying that my shipping containers can stay. Well, shoot, I mean, then a pods container can't stay on a city park property a couple blocks up the road for 2+ years. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander in my book.
Right.
And just today, I finished uploading 9 criminal complaints against the deputy city attorney that's been involved, the code inspector, her supervisor, and the special magistrate, because they have violated numerous laws, but you could boil it down to 9 main crimes that they have committed. As far as posting, somebody said that post a sign that says no trespassing on your property. Yes, in Florida, there's a rule that, or a law that basically says, if you want to have protections of the trespassing law, then you have to post that. You don't have to post no trespassing signs if it's where you live and your property is enclosed and it's under 5 acres. So if you just live in a normal house, you don't have to post no trespassing signs because it's just obvious. Duh, you can't go in someone's house or on their property. So anyway, I just want to let you guys know that because if you do live in Florida, Florida law, and I go through all of that stuff in those legal documents, so you guys could check it all out. Use it for yourself if you're encountering similar situations. Everything I put on my website, there's a resources tab. Click on court documents. That's the other way to get there. Everything on there, I put on there, not to bore you with tons of legal documents, but to give you resources and actual examples of how to fight all kinds of different issues. So no matter what you're going through, you have at least some legal tools to fight with. But Monday, they think they're coming out to literally destroy our property, rip stuff out of the ground in violation of the US and Florida constitutions that say you can't take property unless you go through an eminent domain case, unless you pay full and just compensation. They think they don't have to do that. In fact, they think I have to pay them to take my property. So just so you guys know, in case somebody, there's any trolls on here now or, watching it later, even if my house was, constituted blight or slum or a nuisance, Florida law says municipal governments can't go and take your property just because it's blight, slum, or a nuisance. That's not even a good enough reason. The Florida legislature has said you can't take someone's property, even if it fits one of those definitions. But
And
here,
Catherine, I wanted to chime in for a second. So you did a wonderful job articulating your criminal complaint for trespassing with the provisions of the Florida state statutes, I believe 810, and then it just goes from there. But I was reading that these members of code enforcement, from my understanding, they could not see certain what they like to label violations. They literally went onto your property to take these photographs. Is that correct?
yeah, on September 2nd, 2022, that's the first time that I know that they came onto my property knowing I was home. I literally had just gotten off the phone with this woman from code enforcement. And I told them they have absolutely no authority to set foot on our property, and that they were violating our rights for equal protection and a variety of other things.
Mhm.
And she was sneaky about it. And after like an hour long conversation, came here with some guy who's unidentified and was on my property. And I don't know if she thinks if she stays on the paved portions of my property that somehow it's okay. But she actually said in the hearing on February 27th that code enforcement is allowed to go right up to your front door and on your front porch and take whatever pictures anywhere on your property that they want to. So,
I don't get it. I don't comprehend it. I don't like to say the word understand. The Liberty Cause would put his foot up my patukas, but I don't comprehend that whatsoever. By no means should anybody be allowed to just trespass onto your residential property to try to build a case against you. I
right.
just don't understand how I don't comprehend. Sorry. I don't comprehend how they could just get away with this. It's just mind-boggling what you're going through. I'm just so sorry. I know a little bit about your legacy and the hard work and the dedication that you've done for strangers that you don't even know, and then you come down to Florida and your family is just harassed by the government. I deeply feel for you. People of good moral character all over our country are just subject to this blatant retaliation, blatant harassment by the government. And I mean, what it seems like Ormond Beach is doing, they're just totally circumventing Florida state statutes and the Constitution. So, I mean, I with Catherine's permission, of course, I believe that each and every one of you guys should reach out and chime in on your opinions and your free speech. I would do so without like, being threatening, always, do it in a positive way, but that's just my recommendation, guys. But Catherine definitely needs help over here, guys. That's why I felt just so I just wanted to do this live stream. I know it didn't come out the way that I wanted it to, but YouTube is just plagued with issues sometimes. But we have to join together for each and every one of us when we see a wrongdoing. And Catherine is a prime example over here. They're literally planning on coming on Monday, this coming Monday, to destroy this woman's property and her hard work and effort that her family has put into it. And by no means does this cause a health and safety concern that the government should overstep their boundaries over here.
They don't even allege that. Like, let's be clear, that's not just me
Right.
arguing that. They don't even allege that anything is dangerous or imminently threatening or hazardous about my property. They're just saying, you didn't get our permission and we're not going to give you our permission. So we're going to come and take your property. Can you imagine how traumatizing that's going to be for my kids? I mean, we have 4 kids, 2 live at home. So a 9-year-old and a 19-year-old, I mean, it's traumatizing for me.
Hmm.
I already have PTSD over what they did to me in a different situation when we first moved down in 2021. And funny thing is, they were cherry picking which parts of the land development code they wanted to enforce then too. And Ormond Beach PD was cherry picking which criminal complaints they were accepting. We literally made several complaints that they told us they would not ever put down on paper. So I need your guys' help. I need to raise funds because all the work I do, every little bit of work I do, especially since 2020 started, I don't take paid cases. I help people learn about the law, learn about the Constitution. I'm the one person, the one attorney that fought against the Michigan governor's executive orders, her COVID orders, in the Michigan Supreme Court for free, and did so all through 2020. I mean, I traveled the entire state and beyond. I spoke at 300 different events in the year 2020 alone, educating the public on the law and the Constitution and our rights and our source of authority, the government being restricted in their authority by the Constitution. And I didn't get paid for that. It's just what people are donating, like what I'm asking for your help with now. That's how we've gotten by for the last 3 years because I still have law school loans to pay. I still have, food I got to put on the table, but this is God's work. Getting the truth out there, helping people understand their rights, fighting against the tyranny and the BS and not putting up with it. And I've been willing to get arrested. I was violently arrested in 2020 standing up for other people when I came out as an attorney to a situation unseen. So um, anyway, if you want any information about any of that stuff or who I am before you help me, by all means, go to my website, restorefreedomkh.com, or just Google Restore Freedom. You'll find me. And I know that Lori's been putting other links in there as well, but I need your help, guys. I need help to raise funds for the court filing fees and the transcript fees. If anybody is willing to come to Ormond Beach on Monday, uh, first thing in the morning, come out. Maybe even Sunday night, come out. Connect with Lori on here and she can help, or the Liberty Cause, maybe. One of the two of them can help facilitate so we can tell you exactly where to go. But I need people to come out and physically stand here with me in solidarity to stop these guys from trying to take our property, literally ripping our homestead to shreds.
And guys, if you want to send me an email at Acura Amanda Productions with an S at the end at gmail.com, I can be that third person communication between yourself and Catherine. Um, any Anytime I have a question or I'm trying to help somebody else with their case, whatever I can do personally, I reach out to Catherine. She's just always there for me. Catherine is just a wonderful human being and by no means deserves what's going on in her city. And if we can all band together on this, that would be just the best course of action at this point. Catherine was trying to contact the judge or put a hold on the order yesterday, but apparently the courts were closed up there. So there's not really, there's not really like much she can do in the legal process at this moment. I don't believe, Rick, thank you so much for your super chat. I don't believe that Catherine is being given a fair chance in this court. It's very suspicious to me that other cases were on the record, the transcripts existed, but for Catherine's case, they did not. And my understanding behind it is they know that she was going to appeal this decision to a higher court, and they're making it difficult for her. They're making it costly for her. They're doing everything in their power to hold her back on proceeding with what the right legal course of action is. This happens all the time. I see this happen even in my backyard to other people. The
Yeah,
system.
so
Yeah, go ahead, Catherine.
Yeah, so as far as me being able to file my emergency motion with the circuit court,
Mhm.
so with the special magistrate, the court rules say that I have to file my emergency motion or request for a stay with the lower court or the special magistrate first. Funny thing is, there's no written procedure anywhere on how you file something with these municipal special magistrates. So I sent it to the special magistrate himself by looking up his email address on the state bar. I sent it to the city attorney that's been involved. I sent it to the manager of the neighborhood improvement division, who apparently is the one funneling my public records requests related to this. And I sent it to Barbara Radcliffe, who is acting as the administrative assistant during the hearing and who has mailed me documents afterwards. So I sent it to all of them and said, please respond, at least acknowledging that I have sent this, these pleadings to you. And not a single one of those cowards could be bothered to reply. I sent that on March 24th and said, please acknowledge, because you haven't been doing that. So they haven't even been acknowledging that I have filed it. But I was required to give a reasonable period of time for that magistrate to issue his decision, which of course is not defined in the law, but I waited. And then I said, I'm done waiting. I want to file. Well, guess what, guys? By this Monday, April 3rd, I was still trying to file my emergency motion at the next highest court, which is the circuit court, but I couldn't because they still hadn't assigned it a court file number. Since March 24th, they still hadn't issued a number. That's all they had to do, was issue a number. And those transcripts that I'm required to obtain to appeal and pay for and all that, I was required to fill out this request for transcripts and show that I've got it all lined up with a court reporter, to an official court reporter, to do these transcripts and have her sign it and everything. And I was supposed to have that filed by February 3rd, but she couldn't even get that filed herself because there was no court file number. So I was being stopped from filing my emergency motion. I was being stopped from completing their requirements of me in this case. And it's been a nightmare. And it did finally get in front of a judge. I will tell you that my request was put in front of the judge. And I was told that an order was actually signed on Wednesday the 5th, but I haven't seen it. And when I called multiple times on Friday, it took my last phone call to another number to get a recording saying that they were closed for the holiday. So super nice that they're closed and they have the holiday off. Too bad they don't act Christian. They get a Christian holiday off, but they don't act Christian in their actions. But so I'm waiting. I have no idea. I haven't seen the order myself. I can only hope that it's at least pushing pause on the city's actions, but without me having that in my hands, me by myself with my kids standing next to me is going to be hard, I'm assuming, to stop the city and the bulldozers or whatever they're bringing on Monday morning. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And as far as the troll that's in here talking about I'm a typical lawyer who doesn't know the law, bite me. I know the law. And that's why I gave you access to every single document I have filed so far in this case, because I know about Chapter 810 and Chapter 812. I know what the requirements are for posting or not. I know about the Chapter 895 regarding the oath of office, and how three of these individuals, including the special magistrate who issued the order and the city attorney, don't have valid oaths on file, yet they're receiving paychecks in violation of criminal law here in the state of Florida. Um, I know about the extortion laws and racketeering. Oh, I've got them all cited and quoted, including the land development code provisions and everything else. So if you have any doubt about me having knowledge of the law, just take a look at the documents. Double check anything I have in there. You'll see. I know the law. I'm not stupid. I'm not just full of hot air. I'm ticked off, but I know what I'm talking about. So
Oh my God, you're a liar, troll. Catherine says, "Bite me." I like that too. I might steal that.
that was my professional response, of course.
Okay.
But
I just, I'm a firm believer. This elderly lady told me one day that people will talk shit about you until the day you die, and probably afterwards. Um, I mean, it's one thing to point the finger at people and say, you don't know this, this, or this, but what are you really doing about it? Catherine is out there doing something about it. I've read her criminal complaint yesterday, and it is very professional and articulate. And for her coming down from Michigan, being a licensed bar attorney up there, She knows her stuff, guys. Anytime I need any type of legal question answered, and if I'm trying to research something or work on something for myself, I get an immediate response from Catherine, and it's on point and it's legit. So we need more people like Miss Catherine over here just helping out people, even though she's not licensed in Florida. Technically, under the criminal rules and procedures, if I was, let's say, a pro se defendant and needed standby counsel, I could even use Catherine, her being an attorney not licensed in Florida, to step in and help. I've looked I've looked this court rule up. I call it my law bible. That's what Palm Beach Free Press calls it. But there's everyone should go down to the law library, get yourself criminal rules and procedures, and study this on your own. It's good to retain this knowledge and educate yourself. You don't have to pay an attorney 25 $3,000 $4,000 to get this basic stuff. It's there. It's at the law library. Here at the 15th Judicial Circuit in Palm Beach County, they have one of the best law libraries I've ever seen. It's really good. Just go in there, get this information, and educate yourself. Uh, Otherwise, the government will run right over you. I don't want to say that every single person in the government is bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm saying that if you don't know your basic rights and your basic property rights, then this could happen to any one of you.
Yeah, and as far as getting informed, guys, that's literally, I mean, so 2020 and 2021 was a whirlwind. We never saw it coming, of course. I mean, I knew the second our governor in Michigan did a press conference on March 13th, 2020, that it was not going to be slow the spread for 3 weeks. No, 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 no. I knew that it was much more than that. So I've been fighting ever since. But it was like, wham, all of our rights being, just ripped out from under us and, all at once. And so 2020 and 2021, it was just utter chaos. So I did hundreds of presentations and videos and everything helping people understand. But January 2022, we started doing a show, Restore Freedom Weekly, every Tuesday at noon. We go on there. We did 50 episodes last year. We've already done 12, I think, this year. We had this week off, but we're coming back this Tuesday. And our goal in doing these is to educate you, because it shouldn't take an attorney to read the law, to read the Constitution, to know your rights, to understand the proper role and limitations of government. And so we do a video every Tuesday. There's a little recap video on Thursdays, but on Wednesdays, we give you a way to get involved challenge. And Fridays is the real reason why I brought this up. Amanda's talking about going to your law library and getting legal resources. And you might live in a county where they have a really crappy law library, or you can't get to it, or whatever. Please check out all the freedom fighting tools. If you go to our website, restorefreedomkh.com, and there's a search bar, you could go Freedom Fighting Tools, type that in, and you'll see that every Friday we post at least 3 Friday freedom fighting tools. Say that 3 times fast. And it's there for you to, usually the tools are timely, they're tied to the topic we've been talking about that week. But there's always something, whether it's Google Scholar, as much as people want to hate on Google, but hey, you're here on YouTube. So if you're watching this video, you can't complain. Or whether it's talking about the difference between the Black's Law Dictionary and these other online free dictionaries, whatever. I try to give you as many possible tools that you can have at your disposal as possible, because we have to. I saw a comment a while back. Someone said, the thing that they fear the most is a fired up and informed citizen who's willing to fight back. And that's what I am, and that's what I want you to be. So this fight for me isn't just a fight for me. No, we need to win this, because I'm one of the people in your corner fighting for all of our rights in a variety of ways. Our medical freedom rights, our right to parent our own children, educate our own children, our right to run our own businesses, earn our own money, not have our property stolen, our rights, all the rights that are guaranteed by the Constitution and beyond, because you can't forget that 9th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution and all those unenumerated rights as well. But if I'm taken out of the fight because my hands are tied up with my home literally being ripped apart, how much help am I to all of you? Help me so that I could turn around and help you guys. And people are talking about the British accredited registry. That's total garbage. I've done videos all about that, explaining that. You could check them out. Lori might have already posted the link for those. As far as going after the bonds of these public servants, that's not a thing either. Done videos about that. They tried a whole, swarm of thousands of people in Michigan tried that in February 2022 in Michigan. And every single one of those public officials is still in office unless they chose to move on to some other employment. Like, if there was a Staples Easy button, I'd be pressing it right now. There is no Staples Easy button. That's why I am appealing and countersuing while filing my civil complaints against them, while filing criminal complaints against them. And if any of you have any leads on specific links or email addresses or whatever for me to file with the state attorney's office or with the sheriff, and we're in Volusia County here, or with the FBI or any kind of other, the DOJ, by all means, please send them my way, because I will gladly make these criminal complaints. I mean, I know they're violating 18 USC section 281. They're conspiring to violate my constitutionally and statutorily protected rights. And if they're willing to do that to a constitutional attorney, and you better damn well believe they know I'm a constitutional attorney, they're going to do it to you. Why would they stop with me? So
Yeah,
anyway,
I agree with that. And after we end this stream, I'm going to give you a resource, and I'm going to encourage everybody else that's watching this. Everybody and their mother, they sometimes make what's called an internal affairs complaint for civil rights violation or deprivation of rights under color of law. What we need to do is step it up a notch and take it to another jurisdiction. We need to be making complaints with the FBI and the DOJ. And I don't want to give you guys too much information, but that's what I've been researching lately, and it's been getting me ahead. And I recommend that we start stepping up our game. Let's go to the feds. Let's report these deprivation of rights complaints, how they should properly be investigated. So I'm not a believer of the police investigating themselves in any which way, shape, or form. It's a bias, and that is not how you're going to get your point across. We all need to step up our game. And I think, Catherine, I encourage you to do the same. I'll email you some resources, how you can look into that. But do your research, guys. What Catherine's situation can happen to each and every one of you. What I believe is going on also over here, it's divide and deflect. Basically, they're trying to divide us with screwing us over, and in Catherine's situation, distracting her from her work that she's been doing. And it's to get your mind off of the path that you're trying to go forth and help people out. This has happened to me personally. It drains you emotionally, it drains you physically, it drains you financially, all the three aspects of draining you. And I can't stress this enough. When something happens like this, guys, just keep on fighting. Don't let it discourage you. Just try to truck on as usual. I mean, it's easier said than done, but if there's anybody that would like to reach out to Catherine, send me an email at Acura Amanda Productions at gmail.com. I will put some more links in the description so you can check out her work and possibly email her directly. But if you guys are in the Ormond Beach area, Volusia County, and you guys want to help out or you guys want to donate to Catherine's cause, please feel free to do so, guys. It only takes maybe $1 from each person. Whatever you guys can contribute to this fight over here. It's so unjust what's going on, and I'm just very happy that you took the time today to explain this to my viewers, because it's just so much moving parts over here that the best person to explain it is Catherine herself. And Catherine is just a wonderful person of good moral character. that always tries to help others out, and she does not deserve what's happening to her by no means, guys. I'm just so sorry that you're going through this, you and your family. Just stay
Thank you.
strong. Stay strong, girl.
Yeah, and I just want to encourage you guys to, can you imagine how many people, just think about it this way. If you're still on the fence about whether you want to get involved and help me in some way, think about it this way. Just in my initial response that I wrote to the city, I probably had 40 hours in on that alone. At this point, who knows? I have no doubt this 500, 600, 700 hours of time that I've put in on legal research and writing and the procedures and the substantive law, all of it. And if I am having that much time that I have to invest in this, how much do you think? And it's not because I'm just starting from scratch. How much time do you think it would take the average attorney? Look at their billable rate, even if they're charging $100 an hour. If they have 100 hours in on something, that's a lot of money. So, how many attorneys do you think really can afford to specialize in these kinds of cases? Because how many people can afford to pay them for that work? Help me pave the way so more people can fight back. So more municipalities are put in check and are seeing consequences for their illegal and unconstitutional behavior. Help me to do that, because when I finally preserve the safety and integrity of my own home, I'm not stopping there. I'm going to arm every single citizen and make sure they know exactly what tools are at their disposal and how to fight back legally. Because all of you know that our government is screwed up. I've seen a lot of comments about that. Somebody said, let's just face it, our government's, corrupt and screwed up and everything else. Yes, they're out of control. We are on the brink of a civil war. No joke. I think we know that. I think we can all feel that. It's been getting worse and worse, but especially in the last 3 years. The divide has grown exponentially. Help me hang on to the last chance we have at a civilized legal resolution before one or both sides turns this whole big nasty fight into violence that we can't come back from. Help me to use the system from the inside out to fix this tyranny, to stop it, to make them follow the Constitution. That's my plea to you guys. So, and thank you for having me on today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate those of you that have been sharing links to either my website or my YouTube. Obviously, we'd love for you guys to come over and join and subscribe and hit the notification button on youtube.com/restore freedom. So you can check out the stuff that I have to offer and provide to you guys every week. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would do in going through what I'm going through. I don't know what I would do without friends like the Liberty Cause. This is a public service. Acura Amanda. What is his? Is it the Palm Beach Free Press? Is that the other person that I met recently?
Yes.
Trying to remember people's screen names and not their real names. That's the hard one. And then, I mean, when you have this as a public service, I mean, dude, a name like Foshin, come on, I have a JD and it's hard for me to remember how to spell that every time. So, anyway, I don't know what I would do without you guys. People like you are amazing, and I look forward to James Madison Audits. I look forward to meeting him 7:30 bright and early Monday morning. So it takes all of us working together. It takes average everyday people. Remember, I'm not a Florida attorney. I'm nothing to them down here. I mean, I grew up in Orlando, spent 12 years being raised down here, but I'm nothing down here. I'm just an average citizen. So help me, guys. Help me out and join in this fight to restore freedom, because it's people like Amanda doing what she does, and the Liberty Cause doing what he does, and this is a public service. Man, the crazy stuff that we all are going through right now, just to share the truth and the light, is just insane. It's like,
Well, Catherine, you do wonderful work, and I keep me posted on what happens Monday. I really feel bad that me and Palm Beach Free Press can't make it up there. We're down here fighting for other issues that are going on in our community. We got a very large week next week. I'm going to explain a lot of it in the near future, guys. But Katherine Henry, go subscribe to her. Go check out restorefreedom.com.
restorefreedomkh.com.
KH.com, restorefreedomkh.com. And shoot me an email, guys, if you want to help her out in your physical presence on Monday. But if they don't come Monday, they can come Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So this is something that we have to press on and really just do our part to see, hey, how can we communicate with these officials, and how can we help Miss Catherine out, because she does some wonderful work. She's just a great individual with a big caring heart, and each and every one of you over here, I feel the same about you guys. I absolutely love you guys. Thank you all for your support today, and I guess we will do another stream possibly next week, Catherine, if you're up for it,
Sure.
and we'll just catch the viewers up on what is the status of Ormond Beach. Are they going to continue to pursue and unjustly messing with your property? I mean, it's just crazy that this can happen over here. I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, Lightning Dave is asking what city. I'm in Ormond Beach, which is Volusia County, just north of Daytona Beach. So yeah, we're right on A1A. I literally live like a block from A1A. So hey, you guys will get a nice day at the beach too. While you're here, you can hear the sounds of the ocean from my front yard if you want to come help us and fight for freedom. So if you do want to come, really, your presence at all is greatly appreciated. But if you wanted to send a message just so they know who you are and why you're here, wear an American flag T-shirt. Wear don't tread on me. Now I'm losing my dang mind. Wear something that shows that where your allegiance stands, and that you're here to support freedom. So then they'll know. Then they'll start to get the message. So anyway, thank you, Amanda, and thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. We're going to do some more preparations now, and I'm sure that we'll both have some updates that we could do next week. And I feel bad that I can't be with you guys. I'm hoping that I could be there for This Is a Public Service when he has his stuff going on the following week, but I guess we'll see where I'm at with mine in the meantime. So,
Well, I'm there with you in spirit, Catherine. And guys, stay tuned for an update on the situation coming out of Ormond Beach, Florida. And if you haven't already, go subscribe to Katherine Henry's channel, Restore Freedom. And it was nice seeing all of you in here, guys. Take care for now, everyone. Acura Amanda signing out. Bye, guys.